Hey guys, it's a brand new Screen Team right here on 930 KWOC and 93.3 FM. My name is Chris. We've got a full hour of movie reviews for you, and in this particular half hour, we're doing movie musicals. And here in a little bit, I'm going to be joined by Sabrina. We're going to be doing one of her favorites called The King and I. But first up, we've got Toby on the show. And Toby, it's so good to see you. How are you?
Hey, doing great. Doing good.
You have chosen a couple of movies for us that we're going to review, and they are the Funny Girl series, right?
Yes, there was two of them.
That we got Funny Girl, which we're going to do right now, and then Funny Lady a little bit in the show here. And Funny Girl, it's a movie... Before this go around, I had never seen before. I had known about it. Barbra Streisand, doing her thing, and I got to be honest, I'm not the biggest Barbra Streisand fan.
Right,
she's very,
you either love her or you hate her.
I'm a diva. Don't shoot me from this side, don't shoot me from that side. Blah blah blah. But I got to be honest with you, Toby. I saw this movie. I loved it.
Isn't she cute in it?
She was perfect. Magnet.
It was like that role was made for her.
Yeah.
Of course, and there was quite a bit of controversy involving this movie. You didn't know about this.
No, tell me.
Keep in mind, this is what was 1968, I believe, when this came out.
Yeah.
Barbra Streisand being very Jewish. She played the Jewish part, and they cast Nicky Arnstein as an Arab.
Oh.
And honestly, this was when, all of this, especially the 13 Years War or 13-Day War went on. There was a lot of tension in the Middle East. This is kind of when this is all started. And when that went worldwide, there was, most of the Arab states and Arab countries would not allow that movie to be played in their country.
That's amazing. And
because of that.
Wasn't there also a romantic affair between Streisand and Omar?
Omar is known for having affairs with his leading ladies, and I don't think that's kind of, it was sort of was told, but sort of not. She was married at the time, and so was he. But yeah, there was some liaisons that was but if you I'm not saying because you're a guy, but it's hard not to fall in love with Omar Sharif in this movie.
Yeah,
as Nicky Arnstein, he was just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. One thing I did not know going into this movie, and I kind of picked it up midway through, but this is based on a real-life story, right?
Fanny Brice was a comedian, and she was star of the Ziegfeld Follies. And it's just like the movie starts out. He tries to put her in this shell of being the beautiful woman that she can sing and she can dance, and she's a comedian.
Yeah,
and the scene where she's put in the middle is supposed to be the beautiful bride part of the Follies, and she turns around sideways. And keep in mind, this is the 30s that this is happening. She turns around and has the silhouette of the pregnancy,
right?
And Mr. Ziegfeld had a cow. But the crowd loved it. Yeah. And she would sneak in those little things there to help bump up the show and her own notoriety.
She knew what her strengths were.
She knew exactly, because she was not an attractive woman. If you've looked at pictures and things, she knew she wasn't that role that he was trying to make her into. She knew what her strengths were. Comedy was it. She was pre-Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
She did a lot of physical comedy and wrote a lot of her own material. She was a hoot when women were not in that role in those years.
We had mentioned Fanny Brice and Barbra Streisand scenes with Ziegfeld, and those are some of my favorite scenes.
Walter Pidgeon was great in that role.
Because she'd be like, okay, I kind of want to do it this way, and he'd be like, all right, go ahead. But then she would take it another step further. And another step further.
She'd get the door cracked open and then run through it. She did. But the music from this, now keep in mind, it was a Broadway show way before it went to screen, and Barbara was in it. She starred in it on Broadway. So a lot of this was already worked out before they even got before cameras.
Oh, wow.
But the music from it, People Who Need People.
You know what song I was singing to Sabrina? It's the song that Omar sings to Barbara. I am a man and you are a woman.
My favorite. That is to me one of the most.
Let's kiss.
Yes, that is one of the most seductive songs, though. It's cute, but he's trying to seduce her through this whole thing. And I remember as a 13-year-old girl thinking. But because it's cute. It
Yeah.
really is. But I loved her in this movie. She was absolutely perfect for. But she
Oh, yeah.
made that role her own.
Yeah.
When she, like I said, it's all the time that she spent on Broadway with it, and I couldn't imagine anybody else playing her in these movies.
And that one scene where they get off the train and they're taking photos of all the ladies or whatever. And then Barbara gets on last. And they're like, Fanny, stay there. We want to take a picture of you. And they're like, smile, and she's having a hard time smiling or whatever. And then like some smoke gets in her face, and she's like, bah.
Oh, it was
Toby,
wonderful.
man, I fell in love with this movie. I really did.
Glad I introduced you to it.
And kind of I've always had respect for Barbara Streisand. I just never really cared for her.
Sure, I get that. But this was tailor-made for her.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
I mean, the writing was good. The music is great. It's just a feel, even though it's sad toward the end, and you see that, Nikki's career is falling apart. She's becoming a star, and the tension that goes on with that. Yeah. But she loved her man.
Yeah. I'm kind of interested to see, because there's a sequel. It's called Funny Lady.
Yes.
And we find out a little bit more what happens to Fanny Brice.
Right.
And I want to hear more about it.
We're going to have it.
All right. It's coming your way next right here on The Screen Team.